And the Kenya National Examination Council Board has been dissolved. We have 9 of the commissioners, starting with the chairman, Joseph Kivilu, who is the chief executive officer of NEC, who has also been asked to record a statement with regards to last year's examination leakage. We have Noor Ambia, who is the senior deputy secretary of examinations, who has also been asked to record a statement with the police. These are orders from Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph Nkaiseri. We have Maundu Mantewaza, the deputy secretary for security from the Kenya National Examination Council. Thomas Mackenzie, the principal examination secretary, of course, from NEC. Sarah Majani, the senior deputy secretary for reprographics. Bobby Nyagamwai, the senior deputy secretary. We also have Geoffrey Gitogo, the senior deputy secretary in charge of ICT from the Kenya National Examination Council. And finally, we have Michael Ndua, the principal supply chain management officer, and Richard Mwangangi, deputy secretary. All this forms up a 9-member team who have been asked to record statements with regards to the examination leakage for the year 2015 that saw a number of 5,101 students miss out on their results after being accused of cheating. This, of course, we will be finding out from our reporter Murimi Mwangi, who has been following this very closely and should be joining us in a bit to explain to us how this happened and a lot more information on the same. Murimi Mwangi, is this a new dawn for the Kenya National Examination Council and generally how examinations are handled in this country?
Good afternoon. Now, it has been a press statement from the IEBC, of course, setting the record straight with regards to the Okoa Kenya referendum push, whose signatures did not reach the threshold of the 1 million signatures that are necessary for any such referendum push to happen. And just on the same issue, I have with me here one of the IEBC commissioners, Mr. Yusuf Nzibo. What does what you've done here today mean to the entire exercise and the issues that have been raised by the court coalition with regards to the rejection of the signatures?
I think what we've done is to be transparent and explain to the media the whole process that we went through in terms of verifying the data had been brought by Okoa Kenya. As the chairman did explain, and also our research manager, Dr. Catherine Kamindo, went through a process of elimination where there were duplicates, where there were no signatures, or where the names were missing but there was a serial number, and where it appeared that one person had signed several times for different people, or where the names were interchanged but it was the same ID number, or where the ID number was not the usual ID number, either it had an exclamation mark or a question mark or any other character that does not appear in the ID number. Match those against the national register of IDs and passports, and those were not there. We also looked for people who had actually signed, and the law requires that they must be registered voters, and we found quite a number who are not registered voters. And therefore what it means now is for the Okoa Kenya initiative, if they may wish, is to go to court and challenge our decision. But as far as we are concerned, we believe we've done a good job, and therefore the initiative at this stage has collapsed.
So what's next for the coalition? If they wanted to push on with the referendum push, what are they supposed to do now? Do they get the remaining signatures or start collecting the signatures afresh?
I think because there is no law on referendum and the process, there are two schools of interpretation. One is that the initiative has collapsed, you have to go and do it afresh. Another school of thought, which I believe probably the courts would interpret, is whether they go and begin afresh or they build on the numbers. So we wait for the courts, if they do go to court, for the courts to decide.
I would like to indulge you on something. The Court Coalition has been alleging that you've been biased to the Jubilee Coalition, but even looking at the signatures and the people that entered their details more than once, you still took one of their entries in the final tally that we saw in the signatures. Would you still say that the Commission was biased to the Court Coalition, or were you lenient to the Okoa Kenya referendum push?
I think you as people of the media saw that we were over generous. For example, where an individual signed more than once, there were 3 or 4 records of the same individual. The usual thing, if it was a matter of voting, voter register would have cancelled that person, and the person would not have been able to vote. But in this case, we gave the benefit of doubt, and out of the 3 or 4 records, we took one, which was being generous. I mean, you can't fault us for having done that. You know, somebody else could go to court and challenge. Why do you pick on one number when somebody has done it more than one time?
Then finally, before I let you go, just yesterday you issued a statement from Naivasha saying you're ready to go home anytime if the Parliament, or if Parliament comes to a resolution that you go home. Is that still your position, and does it extend to the other commissioners of the IEBC?
Well, you see, what I did say yesterday is that there are 2 initiatives here. One of the Okoa Kenya, and the other one was the Public Accounts Committee. And there are quite a number of recommendations which were made by the Public Accounts Committee, including auditing of our lifestyles. And my statement was that if Parliament feels that we have failed Kenyans, we've not done a good job, and we believe we've done a good job, then they are free to do the same thing they did with ECK. And we are ready to go home and give other Kenyans an opportunity. And I also repeat again, Kiswahili, riziki ina Mungu. Binadamu akikunyima, Mungu anakufungulia mlango mwingine. Kwa hivyo, vitisho ndo tuache. Kama tunafanya makosa, tutolewe makosa. Lakini kama tunafanya kazi nzuri, tunaomba at least wa Kenya waelewe kuwa kazi imefanywa na makosa yako wapi. Kwa mfano kama hii sasa Okoa Kenya, tumeeleza, tumewapa nyinyi waandishi wa magazeti na wa television na radio nafasi ya kukagua vile vitabu, na mtaona wenyewe kwa nini watu fulani hatukuwachukua, wengine hatukuwachukua, na nyinyi mtatoa kauli yenu kama tumefanya haki au hatukufanya haki.
Asante. Shukran sana, Commissioner. Now that has been IEBC Commissioner Mr. Yusuf Nzibo setting the record straight again on that,
thank you very much,
that press conference that we just had a few minutes ago from the IEBC.
Thank you very much.